My friend Destiny is here. Right off the bat, happy to see you, my friend. Destiny says, "Happy Sunday, Eric. How are you today? Blessings to you. Blessings to you as well. I'm doing good today. I'm doing better now because I just finished my taxes, just in a nick of time. Um, I was thinking about actually not filing them because I wasn't sure if I made enough money to make it worth their while. I looked it up. Every little bit you make is worth their while. They are always happy to um, find a reason to that you owe them money. I've mentioned before issues with taxes, but at the same time, um, sorry, sending a brief message. Um, at the same time, I don't mind um, paying taxes either. I think it's unfair the way it's set up for most people, but I realize that my taxes are paying for wonderful schools that I have in the area, for the police officers that keep me safe and protect me, for the fire department that keeps me safe, for traffics, for all of that. So, um, you know, it's not it's not a bad thing, but I just think it needs to be set up to make it more fair to everyone across the board. Um, as well, income taxes relatively new, relatively. Um, Probably just about 100 years or so. They get started right after World War One. They needed to make up some revenue. It wasn't supposed to be permanent. Property taxes are the big thing for me. And it doesn't seem fair when a house is paid for that you keep paying property taxes. I don't mind paying the county or the state. I don't know. They don't ask me. So hold on one second, guys. So I owe, but not enough, not a whole lot. No big deal. Um, Oddly enough, I owe more than last year, and I didn't really make any money this year. So Destiny says, "What's up, just a Yogi?" Not a whole lot, Destiny. Again, I just did my taxes. I took a couple long walks today. One with Mocha and our dog Misty. Quit Eating Animals is here. Um, Hope you guys are following Quit Eating Animals. You don't need to be a vegan to follow this incredible effort for an incredible cause. Whenever anyone gives me a little bit of grief for being a vegan, it doesn't happen often. I'm not a in your face pushy vegan. Um, Honestly, I've never met a vegan who was, but somehow it got that stereotype. I don't know how. Um, but most are pretty quiet, keep to themselves. They know what they're doing, they know why they're doing it. But the thing is, have you ever changed everything about your life? Consider how personal, how intimate eating actually is, and it completely change it from the way you were brought up, from the way you did through the vast majority of your life. And in an instant, you change it for something larger than yourself. Have you ever given up something for the sake of another being? That's pretty amazing. So our friend Quit Eating Animals is just over 100 days. I think today might be 104 of doing 300. Is it 396? I know I'm getting my numbers wrong. Right now I have tax numbers flying through my head of burpees every single day for this great cause. Definitely follow Quit Eating Animals. If just for the dedication to that cause. You don't have to believe in the cause. Hopefully you'll give it some consideration, but you don't have to believe in it to appreciate that dedication. Chris K is here. Chris says, "Hi, hello, my friend. How are you?" Destiny is saying hello and happy Sunday to Chris K. Um, Chris says, "I got robbed." Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Our friend Flower is here. Hey, and hi. Flower, how are you? Is this the last day of the water festival? Chris said they took my guns. Well, that's a big deal. I'm sorry to hear that. What are you gonna what's gonna happen? Destiny says, hello, quit eating animals. Flower says, Chris K, oh God. Yeah, we definitely feel for you, my friend. Quit eating animals says, hi to Destiny, and 329. 329 burpees every single day. And it's been over 100 days. And he's continuing. It's going to end. When is it going to end? October, I believe you said. Destiny saying hi to our friend Flower. Chris K says, good news is that I have a secret room and all my best guns are in it with my armor and money. Smart thinking. You definitely thought ahead with that. And Flower says, this is not the last day of the water festival. Well, that's good news. And Quitting the Animal says, Halloween. It's a long time. 100,000 burpees is what's going to be done. You started on New Year's. You started on New Year's Day to Halloween. To get 100,000 burpees. That is an incredible feat. And it's not spread out throughout the day. You know, he's not doing 50 here, 50 there. He's nailing the numbers. And our friend Goldie's here. Goldie, I have your video up and plugged in to watch. It's absolutely beautiful, right in the middle of the city. Flower says, oh, I love secret rooms for that reason. It's pretty smart to have one. And our friend Flower says, hi to Miss Goldie. Destiny says hello and happy Sunday to Goldie. Thank you to Destiny. January 1st is when Quit Eating Animals started. Going to Halloween, 100,000 burpees total. Goldie says that I filmed it because of the bird song. I absolutely love bird songs. One of my all-time favorite things, because I'm out walking so early, is I catch that very first note. Usually. Sometimes it registers that I'm hearing it, and I wonder, when did that slip in? And that little lapse of mindfulness, did that note slip in and only now registering? But sometimes I'm attuned to the silence and I catch that very first note, and it feels like it's not that the silence parts, it's like it accepts that there's this nothingness, there's this silence, a very rich, deep silence, and then there's just that perfect note. Absolutely love that. Chris K says, another good news is that I know who did it. That is good news. It was his Special Forces old team. Wow. Why would they do that, Chris? And Goldie says, I knew you will enjoy it. Yeah, just I clicked on it and then I knew that it was just about to go live, so I have it queued up. And I did watch, I think, the first 30 seconds, and it's so lush and so green. And amazingly, it's in the middle of a city. Flower says, don't ask why, I'm also here. Oh, I always appreciate you being here. Goldie said, so we just sat down and kept quiet. Sometimes I think that might have been the best advice I've ever been given from people. So we have flower twice, 2 times. Does it have anything to do with power? Are you conserving power? Chris K says, well, it seems that the invitation they sent was just to find where I live. That's not good. Doesn't seem like that should be something they can get away with. And Flower One says, no, the lights are on. I'm just using my phone to edit. And Destiny says, it looks like my comments are being erased. I don't know what's going on. Weird. The last comment I see, Destiny, is hello and happy Sunday to Goldie. Hey, Destiny, are you okay accepting a wrench? I never want to add any extra burden on anyone. So you don't have to use it, but it might be handy for you sometime. Let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and give you one. And if you decide that it's not something that you would like, we can always fix it. Let's see. Maybe that'll help. Goldie says, yes, it is, and actually a study ground for the Agriculture University. And it's free entrance to everyone battling cancer in the oncology hospital next door. Hey, that's amazing. So healing, too. You can think of nothing better for a patient of anything than having access to just a beautiful, peaceful place. Makes me wonder, at least here in the United States, and maybe across the vast majority of the world, are we making full use of our healing modalities? Studies have been shown the healing power of nature, healing power of prayer, meditation, breath work, Chinese medicine of all sorts, pranic healing, using our energy, sound healing, so many things. And it seems that, modern medicine draws this hard line. We'll accept this, now they're starting to accept acupuncture. It took them forever. you would think that something like that, they'd start to wonder, what else are we not accepting that might help? Doctors, I'm sure, quit eating animals does this very well. The vast majority of doctors don't have to take a single course on nutrition. And yet the vast majority of diseases are caused or enhanced because of our diet or other um, living conditions. It's not quite the phrase that I wanted, but Flower says you should call the police, Chris. I wonder if he can, if it was actually military who did it. Goldie says she can see your comments and didn't erase anything. Chris K says, but I'm not angry. I am just going to take back my belongings because in them there was a pistol given to me by my great grandfather. He fought in WW1. Oh yeah, you got to get if you can do it safely, not put yourself in any danger. Definitely good to get your belongings back, especially a keepsake. Goldie says, is there anyone else moderating the chat? I don't know. We got Goldie, and then we have Destiny now, and I see that Destiny has it. Destiny says, okay, Eric, thanks. Thank you, my friend. Goldie says, Chris K, we don't take justice in our hands, which is excellent, excellent advice. Flower asks, what should I edit? Do you got a new video coming up? Chris K says, I'm not going to do something bad with a bad way. I just take my stuff back. Yeah, I didn't think you would do anything bad. We start getting a sense of people in these conversations, and Chris K seems very sensible person with a kind heart as well. Goldie says it's a huge area with hot houses too. Wow. Our friend Sergio is here. Do you believe in an afterlife? I don't have a belief in an afterlife, but that doesn't mean that I don't discount afterlives. What I know is that we have a present life, we have existence, that that's what we can know now, and it doesn't take any faith, it doesn't take any belief. If we keep our focus on our present life, the life of the moment, I think then we come to that realization of what Jesus says, the kingdom of heaven is within. We're not basing anything on something that has to have the belief system in place or be taken at face value. We are literally living the kingdom now. It's the same with yogic or Buddhist realization. It's not, nirvana isn't an afterlife. Nirvana is here now. Same with self-realization. Here's what the reason why I'm hesitant to say anything about an afterlife is, well, it's a couple reasons. One, knowing that we exist here and now and that it's life, how can there be anything after? There can't be an afterlife when there's only life in different modes of expression. Taking in quantum physics, that, we know right now we're made of molecules that once made up someone else or part of someone else or part of something else. We know that we're made of atoms and particles that have existed, as well as elements that have existed since the beginning of time and space. since the beginning of the universe itself, from the Big Bang onwards. And they've always made something. They've always been in form, or they've always been formless, but they've always been. That's what makes us energy. Energy can't be created nor destroyed. So there's just the ongoingness of life. If there's something, when this particular form, me, Eric, gives up the form and goes back into formlessness, as far as my conscious recognition, my own self-inquiry sort of points that, this personality is going to be over and done with. This personality has always been shifting, but the awareness of the personality has always been, and I suspect will always be. So, Sergio, I have a tendency to give very long-winded answers to a very simple question, so I apologize for that. But it was an excellent question. Destiny says, welcome in, everyone. Please don't forget to hit the like button and share out just the Yogi in his basement doing burpees, or the other way around. I should get my own channel straight in my mind. Awesome channel, leaving a huge thumbprint on the like button. Thank you, Destiny. And our friend Kay Renee's Garden is here. Good morning, Yogi and chat. Good morning, Kay. If I'm not mistaken, and I might be, today is burpee number 18 for Kay. Kay, are you taking any days off? This is for the entire month. Destiny says, Goldie, you may see my third comment I just made to Eric about my video I tagged him in. I did see let's see. I didn't see the video, but I did see the message that you had tagged me in one. So I'm going to have to look for that. I'm a little behind because of getting bogged down in the taxes. Of course, I waited until April 14th. Again, I really didn't make any money this year. I've been living off my savings. So I was thinking I wasn't going to pay them because I didn't make anything. And then I saw online that if you make over $400, they expect you to at least file. You would think if you made $401, they'd just leave you alone. Goldie says, and you can walk for hours. I saw many families actually making sure not to film them. Was a lot of work. That's nice that you took that time not to film anyone, because you just never know who doesn't want it. That was very courteous thinking. Not surprising in the least. Kay says, good morning, Destiny, Goldie, Flower, Chris, and Sergio. We had quit eating animals earlier. He might be prepping to do his burpees. As mentioned above, he's doing 329 burpees every single day until he reaches 100,000 burpees. And he's doing it because that is the poundage of meat is that the average person eats in a lifetime. So it's there's symbolism there. Destiny says hello to Sergio. Destiny's asking Kay how she's doing. So we had some big burpees, as mentioned, We have 329 by Quit Eating Animals. Yesterday we had 1,000 reps from our friend It Is What It Is. Absolutely amazing. And I saw Destiny there cheering him on. I saw Kay there cheering him on. Kay says that she is great and asking how Destiny is. Destiny says, dropped 2 comments asking you to check out my burpees video that I did yesterday. I tagged you in it. I will definitely be checking it out. I never miss a burpee video from a friend. Let's see. And I have Goldie's video up and prepped, ready to finish watching. I was just watching our friend Noble, helping him with some watch hours. Hey, if there's anyone here who needs some watch hours, they're in the process, if they're trying hard to get monetized, let me know, and I can add you to a list, and I will make sure to watch, have you up and running a couple of hours every day to help you on your way. Just let me know. I'm always happy to like and share, although I was taken to task by a burpee friend for sharing out non-burpee stuff. Not taken to task, but just wondering, what the point was, and that maybe I'm growing my channel. I'd like to think what I'm doing is expanding my channel. And I don't want to say like we all should. We should all do what makes us happy as far as our creativity is concerned. But the thing with creativity is that expands as well. It never stays on just one thing, or it's always expressing itself differently. So, I found I originally started this as a meditation channel, and then it morphed into the burpees, where I want to expand from. I'm always going to be just a yogi doing burpees. Maybe not always in my basement, but I'll always be just a yogi doing burpees. And at the same time, I found myself after my burpee workout, I was talking about meditation. I was talking about yoga and spirituality, all across the board, all kinds of different ways. I was talking about nature. So it just seemed logical to start expanding more and more in that direction, doing the live streams, doing shorts. So by rights, this isn't a burpees channel. It is just a yogi channel. It's an Eric channel. When I go to Destiny's page, I expect to see Destiny in all of her creative glory, everything she does. And I wouldn't want it any other way. When I visit Kay, I expect to see fitness. I expect to see gardening. I love that she starts it off, fitness and soil. You would think, well, that's 2 vastly different things to have under the umbrella of one channel. It isn't, because it's Kay. Kay's one thing with multi-dimensional creative outlets, and we all are. So, man, expand your channels any way that's fit for you, any way that you think. And also, part of the thing that I want to do is support everyone else who's doing just the same. That includes gamers. That includes Rob's, who was here yesterday. Wonderful channel devoted to his passion for cars. Not the big cars, the remote cars. And it's really cool to watch. Not to mention, the best thing watching any of those is the amount of joy that people get in sharing what they love. That touches my heart more than anything that I can think of. How can you not want to share that with people? Goldie says, hi there, Sergio. I believe in an afterlife, but not in this body. And Goldie and I have talked on this often. It's interesting. It's more than interesting. It's, I was raised Catholic. I don't know if that faith ever, the thing that you're steeped in, I don't know if it ever leaves you, or it should, you know. I don't know. Faith is a wonderful thing to talk about, and it can also be a difficult thing to talk about. Because really, it defies words. But I do love the open discussions that I have with everyone. Destiny says, it's good that you can read my comments. Seems like everyone else may not see them. Your premiere was awesome. Chris Case says, this is why I would just go there, knock on the door, and talk to them politically. That's good. Case says, like, share, done, Yogi. I appreciate that, my friend. And Kay is doing burpees the entire month. That's awesome. And speaking of awesome, Destiny is telling Kay that she is doing awesome. Destiny says, for the like and share out. Thanks, Kay. Definitely thanks. Big thanks. Flower says, hey, I won't be chatting for a while because I'm working on an edit. I can appreciate that. Destiny says, how many burpees are you all supposed to do for the month of April? I know she started, she didn't start at 1. I forget how many you started with. Okay. You didn't start at 1 to keep advancing. You started at, I don't remember. But I know it was more than 1. Go what he says. Destiny, Flower, I'm going to the kitchen to do some cooking and washing up. I have had my dinner for the day. My dinner is generally what everyone else would consider lunch. Through personal experimenting, I found that having the biggest meal of the day earlier on. What's the old saying? Destiny might know this, that you eat like a king in the morning and like a pauper in the evening. I never eat. I never eat after 4. I think the cutoff should be 6 for most people. But since I'm actually in bed by 7, I cut it off at 4. Give myself plenty of time to digest. I maximize my digestion. The Ayurvedic principle is to walk after every single meal for a minimum 5 to 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be a super fast. It doesn't even have to be a brisk walk. Just walk, help your digestive process along in an easy and gentle manner. It'll help you sleep. Probably one of the biggest things that causes insomnia is poor digestion. A lot of people actually suffer from acid reflux without not being severe enough that they need medicine or even realize that is going on, but it affects our breathing pattern, affects our sleep, um, and a lot of it comes from, of course, what we eat, but also eating past that point of comfort, that we've lost track of that stop eating signal that everybody has. Um, but we eat for taste instead of appetite. We keep eating to please us, or we keep eating to fill a particular void, maybe, um, but we don't quit when there's no longer a reason to eat anymore, when we've gotten our um, right amount of calories that we need. Destiny is someone that could definitely speak more um, on this subject, more knowledgeably on this subject than me. But there's all kinds of little things. I find that Ayurvedic um, literature has these so many little things that we can do that make such a huge difference, like oil pulling, where you take a tablespoon of oil, and I believe they recommend sunflower and safflower. Um, Later on, people started doing coconut. I like doing coconut oil too, but you got to find the right kind. Coconut oil can solidify easily, so if you're using a tablespoon of that, you got to chew it a couple times, which isn't necessarily unpleasant because it can taste okay being coconut oil. But the thing is, I do it on an empty stomach. I don't want to ingest any oil. You're not swallowing it. You swish it. That's the pulling part. You swish it in the mouth. They'll do it. Uh, Ayurvedic um, medicine workers will suggest 15 minutes to half an hour. I do it for about 10 minutes every morning. I do it uh, before I floss my teeth. Sorry, before I brush my teeth. I floss, and then I do the oil pulling. Oh, and I also do the tongue scraper. I don't know if that is something that um, you guys are familiar with or doing. Well, we're talking about it. Let's start with oil pulling. Don't let me forget about the tongue scraping. Oil pulling benefits. Um, Very good for reducing inflammation, for uh, enhancing good bacteria while decreasing bad bacteria. Um, this is the National Institute of Health. Um, Effectiveness of oil pulling for improving oral health, um, improving gingival health and bleeding by reducing inflammation, relieving dry mouth, throat and chapped lips, whitening teeth, reducing bad breath, and improving oral hygiene. Um, all you do, tablespoon, safflower, sunflower, or coconut oil, um, and you swish it around your mouth. Start easily. Start for 5 minutes. That's the only thing I use oil for. I don't cook with oil and I don't ingest oil. Of course, there's a debate. Is oil good for you? Bad for you? Probably good for you. Mostly so. But it's also 120 calories of fat in every tablespoon. So a little bit of oil goes a long way. If you tell someone, hey, oil is heart healthy, they go overboard and they put it on everything. They cook with it, everything. And cooking with it isn't always the best thing. Some oil, and again, this is more something hopefully Destiny can talk about, that sometimes cooking with oil can destabilize the chemical breakdown and destroy some of the good things and actually make it not so good. You might have to look that up. But here's the thing: if you're trying to lose weight and you're using lots of oil, you're getting 120 calories from fat in every tablespoon of oil. and it doesn't fill you up. You could have that on a salad. You could have whoever does just a tablespoon on a salad. So you could put 5 tablespoons on your salad or on something else, and that would be what, 600, 700 calories of pure fat. And you're not satisfied because fat is very, or oil is very low volume. So you're better off eating fibrous foods that are high in volume, that fill you up, and it's extremely low in calories. Hence, fruits, vegetables, whole grains. Fill up fruits, vegetables, whole grain, and then if you still are eating meat, if you're not vegan, and you don't have to be, you'll be full, and you automatically won't eat as much meat, which will be better for your health. I'm not saying that meat in and of itself is bad for your health, but the vast amount that we eat every single day isn't good for us. It's definitely not good for the planet, and it's horrible for the animals. And I'm a vegan for the sake of animals. So that is oil pulling. Removes toxins. That's a big thing. That was the main reason I've added it in. And I've done it through the years. I've been pretty regular about it for 2 or 3 years. The other thing, these are all, again, Ayurvedic principles, which I don't do all of. I do the neti pot on occasion, not every day. And usually in spring when allergies are really bad. Neti pot, if you're not familiar, it's that little, it looks like a teapot, and you fill it up with warm water. Better to use distilled water or boil it before, let it cool a little bit before you use it, because you don't want to enter any type of foreign bacteria into the nasal passage at all. And it has some type of saline solution, or you can just put like pink Himalayan salt, and you pour it in one side, you're leaning, and the water comes out the other side, and it cleanses the nasal passage, and then you repeat with the other side. Excellent. And I love doing it after races, especially in the summer when you come in and you've been breathing dust and other stuff all day, and you just want to cleanse things out. It's also great in allergy season. Tongue scraping. I think modernly it's a piece of plastic. Mine is metal, because metal, this particular metal, and I forget what kind, doesn't hold on to bacteria, antibacterial, and it's easier to clean. And you literally just, you put it back on the tongue and you scrape forward 3 times, all you need. So I do my flossing, I do my tongue scraping, I do my oil flossing, my oil swishing, and then I brush my teeth. So a tongue scraper, the benefits: improves your sense of taste. They say if you use it, I do it once a day. They're suggesting here, if you do it twice a day, it can improve your sense of taste, improves the appearance of your tongue, removes bacteria, improves the overall health, reduces bad breath. So again, these are Ayurvedic principles. And the other little Ayurvedic principle that we were talking about, walking after eating. It's not a workout. You're not seeing how fast you can walk, how far you can walk. I walk, usually I have a cup of, after my last meal of the day, I have a cup of ginger and turmeric tea. Turmeric or turmeric, it's your call. Ginger being very, very good for digestion. So I don't want to go outside when I have water boiling. So I walk my kitchen, down the hallway, through the living room, back in the kitchen. And I do that for 10 minutes as the water's boiling after my last meal of the day. Here are some of the benefits. Regulates blood sugar, extremely important. Um, Decreases blood pressure, improves sleep, improves digestion, weight management. It'll elevate your mood, it burns calories, decreases stress. And again, this isn't an exercise walk, it's just an easy walk, 5 to 10 minutes. I think the most important of all, for me, it was digestion. But for most people, I think the regulation of blood sugar is going to be a big deal if you walk after you eat. And as with all things, with the oil pulling, with the tongue scraping, with the walking after the meal, you notice immediate benefits, and at the same time, it has escalating benefits. The more you do it, the more those benefits increase. So not to mention, you're burning a few calories after you eat because it's not a super fast or super long walk. It's not a ton, but it's some, and every little bit adds up. The thing about eating, most specifically, if you have a tendency to overeat, I'm not talking about, stuffing ourselves, but if we just eat more than we really need at any one time, there can be that emotional side effect, that emotional weight that seems to weigh us down. If you walk after the meal, it'll elevate your mood. I would add, before the two major meals, for many, which would be breakfast and dinner, you meditate for 20 minutes, as well as breath work. Always, whenever possible, meditate before a meal or wait an hour or so afterwards. It's not that it's, inherently bad, but you're going to be so deeply relaxed as you meditate, and doing it on a full stomach steers us in the direction of sleep. We want to get that deep rest from meditation, but we don't want to fall asleep. However, if you do fall asleep in meditation, it's perfectly okay. As I was taught in becoming a meditation teacher, there are 4 things, and this is for mantra meditation. There are 4 things that can happen during meditation. You can be thinking your mantra, which is good. You can be having thoughts, which is okay. The mind thinks. Purpose of meditation isn't to reach a state of empty mind. It's to change your relationship with thoughts. It's to recognize yourself as the awareness of those thoughts. And that way you're not caught up in the thoughts. You no longer believe everything you think. Most importantly, you no longer believe, one, that your opinion is any more valid than anyone else's opinion. It's just yours. It's just thoughts that we're heavily invested in. So that's 2 things. The third thing is you can fall asleep, which is okay, because it means that you've entered that deep, deep sense of relaxation. And we need that. We're in a sleep deficit era. And maybe we'll talk more about that as well, because again, it ties in with digestion. And there's little Ayurvedic tricks to getting better night's sleep. If you fall asleep during meditation and you wake up, just finish your meditation. Don't worry about it. You needed the rest. Anything that happens during meditation is exactly what you needed to happen. If you're having lots of thoughts, it's just stress, and you're releasing that stress. The 4th thing that can happen is you slip into the gap. That's where the magic happens. The gap is that space between each and every thought. It's that space between each and every word. In Zen, they say it's the space between notes that makes the song. The gap isn't really a gap because it's ever present. It's the ever-present silence that resides as our reality. But thoughts surface in that reality. And because we have such busy lives, and because we're having conversations with ourselves, um, we have many, many thoughts, and they run, I'm going to use an old expression, they run amok. And then we believe that those thoughts are who we are, instead of realizing that we are the witness to those thoughts. But as we slow the mind through meditation, we start to slip into the gap between those thoughts, and we experience the piece of who we truly are. And then a thought comes in, and we get hooked on it. In Tibetan Buddhism, it's called Shepna. We're hooked on that thought, and it carries us away to a story, more thoughts. And then we enter the mantra again, and we go back to that process, and we fall back in the gap. What we find, the more we meditate, the more easily and the longer we end up staying in that gap. And certain Southwestern Native American customs, when they take a piece of canvas and they want to dye it a particular color, they dip it in the dye, they pull it out, you can't tell a difference. They don't leave it there for very long, they just dip it in, take it out. And then they dip it again, and they take it out. And that repeated dipping, it eventually takes on the solid color of the dye, whatever that dye might be. When we enter the gap, we're dipping into the immaterial. We're dipping into spirit. We're dipping into love. We're dipping into reality, silence. And every time we come out, our soul is a little more the color of that love, the color of that reality. That's the art of meditation. So don't worry if you fall asleep. Any one of those four things that happens is exactly what needs to be happening. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I no longer recall why I started talking about any of that. But hopefully, for any who hung in there, there might have been some useful information that someone can take away from the conversation. To sum things up, take an easy walk after you eat. Scrape your tongue in the morning. Some say twice a day. I just do it once a day. Drink tea. That's another thing. Tea, really good for you. Green tea is really good for you. For a long time, I switched out my coffee for green tea for the benefits of it. But I really missed that 1 cup of coffee a day that I had. It has a family connection for me. It has a connection with Mocha. We would have, up until the COVID shutdown, every day we were in a bookstore having coffee with each other, no matter what the state of our relationship might have been at that time. We always met, always had coffee. But tea is really good for you. And you can tailor your tea consumption for the results that you would like to receive. Ginger tea, excellent for digestion. And again, to tie the whole conversation together, concentrating on your digestion not only helps you lose weight, not only helps your blood pressure, not only helps your stress level, but it helps you sleep. You guys still with me, or have I talked myself out of the conversation? I'm going to cover sleep very quickly. Some of the things I already mentioned, digestion and sleep, really helps with falling asleep. Walking, I talk about this often. First thing in the morning, first light. My routine is I'm up, use the bathroom, take care of bathroom needs, and I'm on my meditation cushion. I'm doing breath work. I'm doing a specific breath work to help wake me up. I'm doing breath of fire, Kabolte breathing, probably mispronounced, as most Sanskrit words are from me. And again, one, that helps with digestion. Two, it gives you energy. It's a cleansing, detoxifying breath. It increases lung power. It actually tones the abdominal muscles. It can be done in about 3 minutes. I do 3 rounds of 20 breath along with a breath retention each round. Start with 20-second breath retention, 25-second, 30-second. Demonstrated before. I really need to do more videos demonstrating how to do the pranayama. As I talk about it a lot, people should know exactly how to do it. Again, breath of fire is a great morning breath. And as I was taught in how to teach, we categorize this as a coffee breathing technique, meaning it gives you energy. It's an energetic breath. Puts you slightly into that sympathetic nervous state, sympathetic being the fight or flight, but not that hyped up version that we get from drinking endless cups of coffee. Nice and gentle. I do that. I meditate. I do my first round of yoga. I have my one and only cup of coffee for the day. I want to have it early. As I got older, the more coffee I had during the day, I didn't like what it was doing to me. I didn't like how it was making me feel later in the day. And I wasn't enjoying it. I was drinking it out of habit and for the need of caffeine. And that's not good. Doing anything just out of habit isn't good. Should it, at the very least, be addressed? So when I addressed it, I realized all I really want was that one cup of coffee that I super enjoy, that gives me the benefit health-wise, protecting my brain. Very good for protecting from dementia of all kinds, Alzheimer's. And I enjoy the taste when I only have one cup. And then I write. As I'm drinking my coffee, I write, I could say for an hour, but it depends on what I'm writing about. I write every day. It's important to do something creative for yourself every day. You can have a small piece of clay and do a sculpture. You can do origami. You can write. You can paint. You can have an easel set up in the corner of your house. I have a friend who just drew a circle, charcoal pencils, every day, working on that one circle in the morning to find if he could perfect just a circle. Nothing fancy. That was his thing. Whatever it is for any of us, but something creative, a gratitude journal, writing in a gratitude journal, doing something grateful every day. It's vital for the spirit. It's good for the heart, really good for the brain. And it keeps us energetically engaged with the universe. And then I'm out for my first walk. This is where I start talking about sleep again. That if you get that, it's usually still dark when I'm out walking. That's going to change in about a month. But I'll still start my walk in the dark, and then I'll get that first light hit my eyes. Really important to get light, real light, not artificial light, in the morning, because it sets off a chain reaction neurologically, chemically, neurochemically in the brain, which affects everything else in the body. What it does is, among other things, one, you're triggering your production of vitamin D, but you're also creating a hormonal response. You're increasing your serotonin, your norepinephrine, and your adrenaline in just the right amount. Again, you're entering into that fight or flight, but the correct way, the way that you're going to need, so that you can interact with the world in a productive way. And it won't be that you'll be so hyped up, that you'll be nervous, that you'll be jumpy, that you'll be more apt to confront someone. You'll recognize the gentleness of that type of hormonal response. How that ties in with sleep is, through the course of the day, those same stress hormones begin to die off, and in their raw material, the body uses them to produce serotonin and melatonin, which are the rest and digest hormones that we need to help us sleep. That's the importance. So even if you can't walk first thing, I do recommend, man, if you can get 10 minutes in the morning um, in nature, and nature is where you find it. Nature is a city block. Don't discount the nature of a single tree. Don't discount the feel of grass or earth or soil in your hands or on your bare feet. Don't discount sunlight hitting the eyes. All of that stuff heals. All of that puts us back into the belonging of universal order, that we are of the earth. Physically, we were made from the material of the earth. Biblically, we were molded from clay and then given the breath of God to become alive. Breath work, pranayama, prana, divine energy, and then getting that sunlight, all of that nature, it's returning us to earth, returning us to spirit, returning us to God. So, I have talked an awful lot. And with that, I think we'll call it a day for now. I'll be back about 5 o'clock. And we'll talk some more. Hopefully, I'll talk less. You guys can talk more. Always happy to answer questions. So, with that, Destiny, Goldie, Flower, and Kay. Of course, our friend Chris K, Sergio was here. Appreciate you all. Thank you for stopping in. I'm going to check out, Quit Eating Animals. Thank you as well. I'm going to check out the videos that I was tagged in. I'll see everyone later. Take care, guys. I'm not sure. Did I miss anyone's comments? Because the last one I saw was from Goldie, that she is going to the kitchen. And then I don't see anything more. So, if I did miss anyone's comments, I apologize. Take care, guys.